Hey everyone, I'm Kay here in Tennessee on my homestead. Welcome to my kitchen. If you're new here, I have huge gardens. I grow a lot of my own food, preserve it, and I cover all this on my channel, as well as medicinal plants, gardening with cats, and so much more. So if that interests you, I hope you subscribe. Click the bell for notifications, scroll down and click all so you won't miss an episode. Now today I'm going to give you a quick video on something I've been looking into, and that is the spray that they spray on produce in the market. So a couple of things that I picked up yesterday at Sprouts Market, which is known for its organic produce and its non-toxic cleansers, its own line of all of those home care products. I noticed that they do have a plastic box above the produce section, and you'll find this, I'm sure you'll find this in every single supermarket. The awning where the sprayers are, and right above that, you know, there'll be a sign that says produce in cute letters, but in between those two you can kind of look in and see that there is a box like this that is attached to the hose that goes to the sprayer. So I thought I would just bring it to your attention in case you hadn't seen it. I don't know if you've noticed, but if you're doing searching online now, and I use Brave browser and I use Brave for search, which protects you against a lot of ads and all sorts of things. So on there, and I'm sure all of the search engines now have switched over to AI. I can't believe that one has it and the others don't. So, you know, this whole revolution has happened just recently with AI. So if you do a search, it will almost automatically digest everything on the internet about that topic and give you a summary. And you'll see that at the top. At least that's what mine has, and I'm sure they all have it. So there's a summary about this topic, and the product is called Produce Max, M-A-X-X. And it's an antimicrobial agent listed in the EPA as a pesticide, but specifically it is for organic produce. It's rated to be sprayed on organic produce. Now, I just sent an email to Sprouts Corporate, and I asked them to please give me the ingredients and that I would be sharing that with my audience. So I'm sure it'll take a little while to get back, but I have a feeling, since the search engine searched all the results on the World Wide Web in about a half a second and told me Produce Max is what almost all of them use, I'm sure that's what it's going to be. It has chlorine in it because it has a limit to how much chlorine can go in it, according to the EPA, because it's rated for organic produce. Okay, so I'm always talking about rinsing my vegetables in filtered water where the chlorine is taken out. If you don't have that opportunity and you're washing your vegetables right from the tap of city water, you're going to get them bathed in chlorine. So this may be a moot point, but I encourage everyone to try to get as little chemicals on their produce that they consume as possible. Now, I understand that the spray, in a perfect scenario, would kill a number of pathogens. Okay, so when you really, I encourage you to do this search online. Just type in what is the spray they put on vegetables in the supermarket, and you're going to get so many links talking about it. And people are talking about, well, it really is not so much about that, about killing pathogens, as it is, it adds weight to vegetables, which could affect price. It also, the main reason they use it is just the spray of the water. It makes the vegetables glisten and look fresh. So I just wanted to bring that to your attention. We can't change it. It is what it is. I can't help but think about when I first moved to New York and we got into an apartment on 86th and Amsterdam. Well, there was, for generations, a large church on the corner, and then we lived in the next building over. So if you're in Manhattan, you can see where I used to live. It was a fabulous old apartment building that had been divided up. When they built it, who knows, 100 years before, there were, you went up the elevator, and I don't even know if they had an elevator in the beginning, but on each landing, on each floor, I think there were 10 floors, something like that, you got off, and then there would be 8-room apartments on one side and 10 rooms on the other side. And these people had maids, and the laundry was done in the laundry facility on the roof, and all of that. Anyway, old time stuff. But there was a wonderful produce stand around the corner, and when you went in, every single fruit and vegetable was in its own little tissue paper. Tomato, peach, pear, whatever it was its own little tissue paper, and you didn't touch anything. You didn't grab it, you didn't test it, squeeze it to see if it was ripe. No, you pointed, or you just asked the man to pick out some peaches for you. You know, it was just so old school and wonderful, and I just thought I would throw that in. We don't have anything like that, you know, access to anything like that anymore. I mean, unless you go to the farmer's market, you know, where you can literally pick things up. And this spraying is not going to be going on at a farmer's market, so I highly recommend that, shopping there. So anyway, yesterday, because I've had trouble, I've had trouble with cilantro. Sprouts just can't keep it stocked, organic cilantro. And I try to always buy organic vegetables, because vegetables get sprayed so much in the field with all kinds of pesticides, herbicides, fungicides, that you know, if you start out with an organic vegetable, your toxic load is so much less. But they've been out like several times. I've been there. I go there all the time when I go see my mother. And the only place to get fresh cilantro where I live is Walmart, and it's never organic. So, and you can taste the difference. You really can. So I thought yesterday they finally had a big load in, and I got 7 bunches, and I said, I'm going to take this home and dry it. Well, so now I am washing it, and I'm thinking, I really should share this story with you. I am a distributor for Young Living essential oils and all of their products. And so I've been using their veggie wash spray for a very long time. And this basically has citric acid and essential oils, no harsh chemicals at all. And it's a process because it has to go through my Alexa Pure. My water has to go through Alexa Pure. But I'm going to lay it all out. And I was going to share with you, I didn't want to, you know, cilantro is so delicate. I didn't want to dehydrate it, but let's talk about the options. I was online, and of course, almost everything that you buy from, you know, that big supplier that we all buy from, or a lot of us buy from, most everything comes across the world from China, manufactured, and you don't know what the fabrics are dipped in or whatever. You just don't know. I've seen these herb dryers many times, and I don't know where my mind was the day I ordered this. Evidently, I did not look at the measurements, and I expected this product to be 1/4 the size. So this is just 2 levels of this thing, right? And then you hang it up. When I picked the whole thing up, these fold into 4. So it was just this size, and I thought, okay, that's exactly what I wanted. No, it's this monster thing. And it's got 3 levels, so I think there's 6 or maybe 8 of these things. And so you're gonna need something significant to hang it from if you load it up. And so I thought, okay, I'll put it in here. And I'll and these every 2 levels, it clips to another set of levels. And I thought, well, I just use the top 2. That'll do fine. And then I thought, well, wait a minute. Now, I can't hang this outside because these are fresh cilantro, and maybe the birds, or I don't know, I think the birds would want to eat it. I don't know. But there's all kinds of dust and pollen and leaves blowing and everything. And if I hang it on my porch, there's no telling what winds up in here. And then I thought, well, I'll hang it from my fan in there. And I thought, my, ceiling fan. And I thought, good grief. I mean, this is kind of significant to be hanging from a light on your ceiling fan. And then I thought, okay, well, the ceiling fan is going to blow dust on these things. I'm back to considering just putting them in the dehydrator. At least dust is not going to be blown on them. If you know somebody that is a distributor of Young Living, their products are wonderful. The line of the Thieves blend, a certain number of people survived the plague in Europe by drinking or taking this concoction with cloves and some other natural herbs or spices. The founder of the company went there and found this old recipe, and that's what this came from. So this is where I use all my cleaning products because I just love the smell. I put drops of it in my Rainbow vacuum cleaner. I wanted one of these ever since I saw my brother had one, and they just loved it. And I always hated the dust that comes out of the back of any kind of vacuum cleaner. I don't care what it is. And then you've got the bag, and you've got to take the bag out and try to keep the dust. It's just like, no. So with the Rainbow, which I bought reconditioned on Amazon, I love it. All of the dust and stuff you pick up with a vacuum cleaner goes through the water. There's nothing that comes out the exhaust that smells or has dust or anything. So I love it. Anyway, and then you've got to remember to dump that and wash it out and store it dry. But I highly recommend that. Anyway, I use a couple of drops in that water just to get that smell in the air. And then I use this, and then of course the household cleaner I love, and I dilute that and I put it in all my, I don't know what possessed me to buy glass amber sprayer bottles for cleaner, but it's crazy, but I did. So you gotta be careful. I've broken a couple of these. But I put some in there and add water, and that's my cleaner. So I love it. Anyway. Now I hang my basil and other types of plants like the cranberry hibiscus. I hang them on the shelf over there and just let them dry. And I considered doing that with these bunches, but I thought, well, the stems will be the last thing to dry. The stems are bunched together. Meanwhile, you've got all these delicate little leaves, and they're going to just fall off or crumble, or they're going to be on the floor, and then they're dusty. And so put it in the dehydrator. So that's what I'm gonna do. Now I am cutting off some of this stem because that's just going to take too long to dry. Okay, I've got all the trays full. I took off some of the stems, although not a lot. It's much easier to trim the stems when you've still got it in your bunches. But I wasn't thinking of doing this when I started washing. So I've got all these, I've got 6 trays, and this particular dehydrator, the air comes up from the middle. I've only used this so far on mushrooms. Alright, so we should be doing these about 95 degrees. And what I don't care for on this is the dial is very small and hard to read, and it's going to probably be about 8 to 10 hours I'll be checking this. I hope you subscribe, and I hope this is helpful information. Look into the misting on your vegetables. Shop at farmers markets if you can. Grow your own is of course the best option. And I will see you in the next video. God bless you, and see you next time.